right, so today what we are going to do is we're going to figure out how to change fractions with the denominators of 10 to an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. We're going to still use those basic skills that we've learned in all of our previous videos as well, okay? So what we're going to do, whenever we have to add or subtract fractions, we need to first check out one thing. The denominator, or how much the whole is broken up into, it needs to be the same. Now, I see a problem here because I see in this fraction, my whole is broken up into 10 parts, whereas in this fraction, my whole is broken up into 100 parts. Now, it's easier for me to go up, and right now in fourth grade, that's what we're supposed to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this fraction 4/10, and we're going to multiply it by some number, and we're going to end up with that denominator of 100. Because we wanted to have that same denominator as this fraction, 8/100. So I'm going to ask myself, what do I need to multiply by 10 to get me 100? Now, I know my basic 10 multiplication facts. I know that 10 times 10 gives me 100. So whatever I do to my denominator, I must also do to my numerator. 4 times 10 is equal to 40. Or 40/100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this back in because I don't want to get confused. Because remember, I need to solve. 40/100 plus 8/100 is equal to what? So one thing to keep in mind, we do not add our denominators together, because if we did, our whole would change. Our whole would not be made up of 100 parts. Instead, it would be made up of 200. We don't want to do that. So our whole is going to always stay the same here when we're adding and subtracting. Now, only thing we need to do is we just need to add our top number, or our numerator. 40 plus 8 is 48. So my answer is 4/10 plus 8/100 is equal to 48/100. We do not need to change this to decimals. We do not need to change this to a percentage, because this is where we need to learn, or what we need to learn right now in fourth grade. Now we're going to look at our next one. We see 4/100 plus 7/10. There's a problem. I remember that when I add and subtract fractions, the denominator must be the same. Right now, this denominator is 100. This denominator is 10. I need to get them to be the same. So it's easier for me to go up, create more parts, split this into more parts, rather than break this down into more parts. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this fraction, 7/10, and I'm going to multiply it by something. I don't know what yet. And I'm going to have that denominator of 100, because I want to get it to look like this. So what am I going to multiply, or what can I multiply by 10 to get me 100? I know that I can multiply 10 by 10 to give me 100. Whatever I do to my denominator, I also do to my numerator. 7 times 10 is 70. Now I'm going to plug this back in. So now this actually is 70/100. So we're going to add them. Remember, our denominators, we do not change them because our whole does not change. So our whole still is made up of 100 parts. Now 4 plus 70 is 74. So looking at that original portion again, so 4/100 plus 7/10 is equal to 74/100.